Good morning, my fellow artists, and welcome back to Life Cues Week 14. I kept saying Week 12 last week, but I corrected it and wrote Week 13. But yeah, it's going so fast, I can't believe it. So this is Week 14. And look how thick my book is already getting. So can you imagine by Week 52? I don't think this will even hold. It's going to be so full. But what a wonderful treasured keepsake these life cues are. I just love them because you can reflect back on your year. So for this week, this is my page right here, my little empty canvas of a card. And I'm really enjoying going through and, you see a Christmas card that I used. And this is my cousin Norma. She lives in North Carolina and she's about 85 or so. But it's nice to just think about her, and when I see these names as they come across, my friend Lori and Bruce, and I always have send really positive intentions to the person when I see their Christmas cards again, so that's kind of a nice thing too. So on this week's question is, what particular quality in yourself do you feel you need more work on? Area of your life that you need to work on. So for me, I know it's patience. It is definitely something that I need to where I have trouble waiting to see what's going to happen and all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I'm going to use, I don't know if you can see this at all, but this paper is really cool. It's from Stampin' Up!, although other companies have it. And another wonderful thing about Life Cues, I love that I can go back into my stash, look for stuff that I haven't used, and it's sitting in the cupboard and that I may not use or think to use, but in Life Cues you can play. So I don't know if you can see the highlighted, this is script. It had a whole bunch of different sheets. It was 12 by 12. Some have script, some have lines. There's just all kinds of things. So I already traced out the size of the page that I want to use. And I'm going to use my, these guys, Pan Pastels with it. And just see what comes up when I start rubbing on the script. So I have my tools over here in this little tin because it comes with all these different tools. And I'm just going to grab a piece of paper to put underneath so I don't make a big mess. There we go. So I'm just going to, I kind of am thinking I might want to just use earth tones for this one. These ones all seem to be very primary colored ones, but I think I'm going to look for the one, the Pan. I have another stack of these. I'm going to go get the earth tones. Okay, I think I'm going to use maybe these ones in here, maybe that olive greeny one, and maybe this, and maybe, I don't know. But I just kind of am looking for more earthy tones. And again, just playing around. So I will take this applicator, and I'm going to try this green first. And right now it just looks like a piece of white paper. And then you just kind of go over it, and can you see the script coming through already? Isn't that neat? I just love this. And again, this was just in my stash, forgot all about it. But then when I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for Life Cues, then I start thinking about what I want to use in the background. Like I line bit it and I think about, okay, what have you got in your stash? And I'm not sure what it says here, something about loving bride or something. Let me try this grayish color. Cool, that looks so neat. Very, very, very cool. And so you can just mix all the colors together and sort of put a little bit of a darker, that gray around the edges, like I would with my inking. And then Pan Pastels need to be set, otherwise they will smear all over everything. But hairspray is probably the best thing to set it with. There. So now you can clearly see the script that was hiding underneath. Can you see that? I think that is so cool. So I'm just going to get some hairspray and set that. there. And we'll just let that dry for a minute. The next piece of paper I'm going to use is also Stampin' Up! And it's just, I cut out a section from, it was a large map area. And it's going to represent the universe for me. Because for me, I really find it so difficult. I know the universe unfolds as it should. But I have my patience, I have to trust that that is the case. In my mind, I believe everything is like predestined and that the universe will unfold as it should, and I just need to be patient with that. But sometimes I want to know the answers right now, and I just need to know. I feel like, come on, tell me, share with me, tell me how the universe is going to unfold. So I want to glue that on there, but I think, that pretty gold in there. I'm going to try and make this map like that old gold, so it looks like an old map. So I'll just go back in here again, and again use Pan Pastel Goldie color, and rub that on there, because it's such a pretty color. You don't really know how these colors work until you use them, do ya? That's why you got to use your stuff. So just do the whole thing in that gold. It looks so neat. So that is probably one of my hardest things, is just patience to let the universe unfold as it should. And I'm even that way, even as a kid with Christmas. I love it, and I want to can't wait till Christmas and see how everything's going to be. And I am crumpling this up to achieve the old map state. So I'll crumple it up, and I'll just keep creasing it. And I'll probably take some Distress ink, Vintage Photo, and go over that. Right here in my, you guys can't see my case, but it is right here. Just opening it up. I actually got a empty cassette case to use for my my Distress inks. I got it at a garage sale, so I'll just change the sponge out quickly and get one for Vintage Photo. And yeah, I'll go to, there it is. And just add some Vintage Photo on here, just to give it that old map kind of look. There we go. Coolio, man, coolio. And I will also set this with hairspray too. And but first I want to add some droplets of water, because water and Vintage Photo makes the coolest little droplets and stains and neat little things. Just got my water bottle that was there. Give it a little, it's so fun because this is an area where you can just play with whatever to see what kind of textures you can create with all your different things. And if you like it, you do. If you don't, it's okay, because you're playing. It's awesome. I want to see how this is going to look as a contrast on here. See, it looks like an old map. Can you see the water spots now? How they are, let's put this light down a bit, how they are just from Vintage Photo. And if there's any one element that I can say that a person should get if they're going to do any art journaling, if you want to get one, if you haven't got any, you get an applicator, get Vintage Photo, because I believe that's the one you would probably use the most. So yeah, that's cool. So now I'm going to take that gray that was over there and just edge the edge of this with the gray, and then I will give this all a shot of hairspray, just so it doesn't smudge up your hands when you're using the book or showing it later. Not that I don't know that other than showing it to you guys, who else would be looking at my book? Okay, I'm just going to smudge it in. Now it will stand out better on here, see that? Now I'll spray this with some hairspray. And we'll let that dry. So there's one more element I want to add on the page, and again I'm going to go in with the Pan Pastels, and I'll probably use, let's see what color, maybe the green one, the that sort of mossy green color. Oopsie. Just to make it a little bit different from the other stuff. And then I will go around it. Look how fast they work, eh? With the gray around the edges. And maybe just add a little bit of that goldy color on it somewhere. Just to blend them all in together. Haven't played with my Pan Pastels in like forever. A little bit of gold somewhere on here. There we go. And then I have a stencil here again of like a compass, and it's kind of like just a reminder, you know, just be patient and time unfolds as it should. Or maybe, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a compass. It looks like the globe. Or maybe it's a web. Or maybe that one's a compass. Oh well, I'll use this one. Looks like a compass to me. So I'm just going to take some spray I have. This one is Color Bloom by Prima, and it's called Precious Stone. And it's kind of a brownie, purpley brownie color. Sorry, probably held that too close. Move that out of the way. That out of the way. And just give it a quick spritz just on that little area. So it's actually more like a stone color. It's actually black. So lift that up. There, we got it on there. We also have a little bit over there, which is just fine. See all those butterflies got stamped on there? Sometimes you can use this background piece for just that, a background for another art journal page. So don't throw away your stuff. There, I need to clean these off, but not right now. And then what I will do, just to incorporate that kind of gun, it's kind of a gunmetal color actually. I think I'll just use some more of that gray around the edges. It's already dry. We'll use some of the gray again. Just around the edges of it, just to tie it all in together. There. So now I'm going to put all these elements together. So I've got this, I got this, I got this tag here. I might put that out there, like that. Okay? So I'm going to glue all these on the page right now. So I actually want to add one more element, and it's this last of my Heidi Swapp chipboard clocks. I've had these probably for 10 years, but I've used them all up, and that feels good to use them all up. So I'm just going to grunge it up a little bit with a distressor. Actually, I think I'll just use scissors for this, just so the edges, because it looks pretty brand new, even though it's not. It's funny, it's old, but I want the edges to be grunge, because I mean, you can't have patience without learning to let time pass in its orderly fashion. You can't speed up life no matter how much you want to. I'm just going to take my Crop-A-Dile here, and I mean, my goodness, I laughed when I opened up my brads. Remember all these brads? And you had to buy them, like by the million fold, you know, because God knows you might use them all up. I'm probably at 899,000 left, you know. So I'm just going to use the Crop-A-Dile, which is this tool here. And it's kind of like a hole punch. I'm just punching a hole in the middle of the clock so I can poke the brad through. There. And then I am going to take that distress photo that I had before and distress up my little clocky right here. I'm checking to make sure that I am actually in the frame, because sometimes I get so caught up you guys can't see what I'm doing, and I apologize for that. There we go. Just making it all dark and oldish looking and frayed on the edges. there. And then I'll just add the brad in the back, just for a little decorative element. Get rid of all this stuff out of the way, this out of the way. There. So this is going to go kind of over here somewhere. Okay. So now I'm going to put this all together. So I'm just taking some deli paper and fashioning a little kind of a parchment envelope for my tag here. I do have parchment envelopes, but they're deep within the, the depth that is the storage closet in there. And by the time I find them, I probably could have 17 made, So I just folded it over like that, take some tape, boom, and oops. Come on, tape, what's your problem? Just because I want to do this fast. It's not the way. Murphy's Law. There we go. Okay, so just pop that over like so. Maybe a little bit bigger than I want it to be. Take a circle punch. Let me find a little one. My room is a mess, but it's an organized mess because I know where everything is. So I will just pop this. Oh, I should have done this before. Beauty of ATG gun. You can unstick it. Did you know that? Yeah. So just find the middle here. I'm just going to put a little bit of a notch so it looks like it's a purposeful pocket. Don't even know if this paper's strong enough for that. Nope. You see how you can just wing things just whatever. And I'm going to take some of that Distress ink and rub it over top of this. Close it back up. A little opening in the front there. And I will just close the bottom up with a little piece of tape on the bottom. I'm just adding this. It doesn't need to be in a pocket, but it just adds, again, a little bit more depth and to your page and dimension, especially instead of it just being a flat 3D page on your paper on a page. It becomes a little bit more. It's got a little bit more dimension. So I'm just darkening up that pocket. Put my tag in like so. You see, it just gives it a little bit more. You can still see the message, but it's a little subtler. And then I will glue the clock on the outside of it. And then we'll just glue the envelope to the page. So here is a close-up look at my finished page. I love how it turned out, all the elements on it. So remember, I used that Stampin' Up! Page in the back that had the hidden writing on it. And then I used pan pastels, sort of earth tones, gold, green, and gray on that. And then I took the other Stampin' Up! Piece with the map, and I also I think I used Distress ink. Yes, I did. And then the gray on that as well. And then my tags, more pan pastels. And I sprayed that gunmetal-y stuff on the tag with that little stencil there. And I wrote, what areas do you need to work on? And I wrote patience and trust. And then on the inside of on this curve here, it says trust that the universe will unfold as it should. And then there's my clock. And then I just took some black ink just that I had on a sponge, and I edged it around the whole page there. And I also edged it a bit around the tag. And I made my own bag out of a cellophane, no, it's deli wrap that you use for jelly prints. I just had a piece there, so I made a little bag, cut a hole in it, used my last of my Hattie Swap clocks in a brad. So you guys, don't be afraid to go into your old stuff like brads and whatever you have to create your pages. It's so fun. It doesn't even have to be old scrapbook stuff. It can be anything around the house to create your pages, magazines, whatever. This book is getting so thick that, there, that's better. Look at my hands. I love when my hands get like this. It's such a good feeling. Then at the very end, I just took that spray and raised it up high over the page and just splooshed it on. And I like that it got some little droplets on it. And remember to always date your work. Today is Jessie's birthday. Happy birthday, Jessie. April 4, 2015. And it is Holy Saturday. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday for all of those that celebrate. So happy, joyous Easter. And just remember about the one before: resurrect, rebirth, and renew. So there is my page. What areas would I like to work on? And it's patience and trust. And just simply trusting that the universe will unfold as it should, and the answers will be given to me about my life's journey when I need to know them. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.